Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, let's consider solving some questions on exponential or indicial equations. Now, the reason why it's called exponential or indicial equation is that here the unknown value, which is the s that we are looking for, is an exponent or an index. So how do we solve this one? Now, the first question we have over here is 3 raised to the power x is equal to 9 raised to the power 4 or 9 power 4. As you can see here, the x that we are looking for is an index or exponent here. So how do we solve for the x over here? Now to do that, you gotta make the basis. Now the base over here is 3 and also the 9 over here. So we gotta make the 3 and the 9 either the two places equal. What we are going to do is that either we make both side of the equations have the same basis. So either we make both side of the equation have same base as 3 or same base as 9. But because the 3 is lower or lesser than the 9, we can make the 3 or the 9, we can express the 9 in such a way that it will have the base such as this 3 over here. So here you're gonna write 3x. Now let me put this 9 inside the bracket and then all raised to the power 4. Now as you know, 9 is the same as 3 squared or 3 raised to the power 2, and then you have this 4 there. So we're going to have 3 raised to the power x, and then according to the power of a power rule, this 2 is going to multiply the 4, so 2 times 4, and then you're going to have 3 raised to the power x is equal to 3, and then 2 4 is 8. When you are solving questions on exponential equations, whenever you get the same basis, so when the bases are the same, you can equate the exponent. Because both sides of the equation have the same base, which is 3, I'm going to say that x is equal to 8. So my final answer is what? Is 8. Let's consider the second question. We have 3 raised to the power x squared minus 1, which is equal to 9 raised to the power 4. This one is similar to the first one we solved. 3 and then x squared minus 1. So let me put this 9 inside the bracket, and then I'm gonna have 3 raised to the power x squared minus 1. The 9 is also the same as 3 squared all raised to the power 4, and then 3x squared minus 1 is equal to 3 and then 2 times 4, which is going to give us 3 raised to the power x squared minus 1, and then 2 4 is what? Is 8. Now as I said, when the bases are the same, we can equate the exponent. So we can say that x squared minus 1 is equal to 8. Now to get rid of this negative side at the x, let's send this negative 1 or the 1 over this place, and to do that, x squared minus 1 plus 1 is equal to x plus 1. Now we know that x squared, this one cancels this one, you're gonna have 8 plus 1 is 9. Now you're not looking for x squared, you're looking for the value of x. So to do that, you find the square root of both sides of the equation. So the square root, so you're gonna find the square root of both sides of the equation. This 2 cancels the square root, and you're gonna have s is equal to square root of 9, and then the square root of 9, we all know that is 3. Okay, so this is how we solve the second one. Now the third one, we also have s raised to the power x minus 2 is equal to 2 raised to the power x minus 8. Now over here, because the 2 is greater than because the 8 is greater than the 2, let's express this 8 in such a way that the base will be the same as this 2. So let me put this one inside the bracket first. X minus 2 is equal to 2 raised to the power x minus 8, and then we know that 2 raised to the power 8 is the same as 2 raised to the power 3, and then x minus 2 is equal to 2 raised to the power x minus 8, and according to the power of a power, this 3 is going to multiply the exponent outside. So we're going to have 2 and then 3x minus 2, which is equal to 2 raised to the power x minus 2. And as I said, when we have the same basis, we can equate the exponent. So let me make a space over here. So now since the bases are the same, we can equate the exponent, and then you have 3x minus 2, which is equal to x minus 8. Now let's multiply the 3 by the ones in the bracket. You're going to have 3 times s is 3x, and 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, which is equal to x minus 8. Now we want to bring the negative 6 to this side and also bring the x to this side. Now first of all, let's subtract both sides of the equation by x. So we're going to have 3x minus x and then minus 6, which is equal to x minus x and then minus 8. Now 3x minus x is 2x minus 6 is equal to this s cancels. We're going to have minus 8. Now to also bring the minus 6 to this side, let's add both sides of the equation by positive 6. We're going to have 2x minus 6 plus 6, which is equal to negative 8 plus 6. Now this one cancels. We're going to have negative 8 plus 6 is also negative 2. Now let's divide both sides of the equation by 2 because you're looking for the value of x, not 2x. So 2, then also 2. So this one cancels. Now 2 goes into 2, 1. You're going to have x is equal to negative 1. So this is how you solve questions on exponential equations. Don't forget to comment on the video and like and subscribe.